Welcome to WRTR Real Talk Radio. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests.
And do not necessarily reflect the views of any affiliated organizations or institutions. This podcast is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered legal, financial, or professional advice.
While we strive to provide accurate and up-to-date information, we make no representations or warranties of any kind, express or implied, about the completeness, accuracy, reliability, or availability with respect to the podcast or the information, products, services, or related graphics contained in the podcast.
Any reliance you place on such information is strictly at your own risk. In no event will we be liable for any loss or damage, including, without limitation, indirect or consequential loss or damage, or any loss or damage whatsoever arising from loss of data or profits arising out of or in connection with the use of this podcast.
By listening to WRTR Real Talk Radio, you acknowledge that you understand this disclaimer and agree to its terms. Enjoy the show.
WRTR Real Talk Radio. Featured guest DJs, original shows, music news, the hottest DJs from around the world.
It's April. Definitely getting warmer outside here on the East Coast, and here we are headed to our third month with what I personally believe to be the worst president the United States has ever elected, and elected depending on how you see it. But either way, we're welcoming you to a new week here on WRTR Real Talk Radio. Thanks one and all for joining us again. My name is Miss Lyric Vivado.
Is it?
It is.
Well, I can't say I'm Marcus Smoot because I don't have the tools.
Oh. I am man. All right.
I am the real Miss Lyric Vivado. How y'all doing?
You're looking good. You're looking good. You're looking happy. I haven't talked to you all week. I feel like that's abnormal.
Here and there, yes, but it's been a wild beginning of the week for me.
Gotcha.
I had to experience some thievery. And,
I saw you. Well, I didn't see, but somebody forwarded me your Facebook post and said, "Is Lyric all right?" And I said, "I don't know." I asked her, "Huh?
Was it Mama Smoot?"
It was Mama Smoot.
I knew it because she commented. She was not happy about me saying that, but yeah.
No, I don't be trying to tell people business. So if I'm gonna tell anybody, I'm gonna tell Mama Smoot because that lady is a vault. She ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. It pissed me off because I'm like, you went through all of that just to get caught. You're caught. First of all, there's cameras now. I drove all the way to Anne Arundel County to the CVS where this guy decided to, I guess, make a copy of my card and take all of my money.
That is so strange that people can do that.
Yeah. There's machines. You can hack the system to get information out. Like, it's so much stuff. It's like money is really not safe on your card even, unless you have it locked. Which I didn't think I had to, but apparently I got to lock up everything. Right. But as soon as you walk in the CVS cameras right there, you can see the ATM that he used, but also the particular ATM that he used, dummy, got cameras on it, stupid. You idiot. And he didn't cover his face. So the officer,
I don't know. Go ahead.
Officer. And he was like, don't even worry about it because I got you, basically. He was like, the CVS camera was a little blurry. However, once I get that ATM footage, it's a wrap for him. So you did all that for what? You're going to jail, sir. I'm pressing full charges because anything over $200 is a felony. You're going to jail. And restitution and justice. All at the same time. Yeah.
No, you know what? I feel you. I totally feel you. But I think that we should prepare, to be honest, because this kind of shit is just the beginning. It's going to be so much more because people are increasingly more and more desperate. I
don't even think it's desperate. I think some people are desperate, but there's a lot of people that are greedy and they take advantage of certain things and they rob people who really need their money. It's
Yeah.
greedy. I'm tired of these scammers. If y'all don't want to get a real job or do what y'all need to do to get whatever y'all need, that's y'all business. But don't take from people who really need. And that's
Yep.
my problem.
Yep.
So
Hey, Trump.
I can rant about it later. Please believe it.
Right. Okay. Well, that's your move.
Yep. You already know.
Okay. Well, I am in a goofy mood. Yeah. We talked about why.
I mean,
So-
I'm in a good mood too, but I mean, people can still get dragged. And I smile while I'm doing it. That sounds a little crazy, but I don't care. Like these are the times that we're in.
No, you know what? That I get it. I never like to see anybody in a position to where they have to revert to stealing from anybody, because the simple fact is that there's greed out here, but I don't know. The empathy part of me makes me look a little bit beyond the surface of it, and the fact is there's plenty out here to where nobody should be stealing. So
Right.
why are we doing this?
I ain't got no empathy because you ain't have empathy for my fucking children who you
True.
stole.
No, that is bad.
I can't.
So,
If it was just me, I'll eat that. But you stole out the mouths of my kids, so now you
Yeah.
gotta see me if I ever see you in the streets. It's like,
there you go.
lucky the CVS manager didn't get to send me that picture like she wanted to originally before the cop got there.
Oh, I was gonna ask if you saw it, but then I thought, why would you have seen it? So.
Well, she said before the cop got there, she was like, "Well, I'm gonna go review the cameras and I'm gonna slide this to your phone." Yeah. But then the cop had to throw salt on it. And
Man, interference.
It was a liability if anything happened. I ain't gonna kill the man. I'm just gonna drag his ass. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Well, hopefully he don't do this shit to somebody else. But it didn't happen. He'll still get what's coming to him though.
work.
About it.
Okay. Well, I hate to ask you to switch up the energy, but could you figure out that you want it to be like when you grew up this week?
Well, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I actually have someone good.
Okay.
A black man who was about his business and
Are we
helping.
both talking about Corey or no?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
So, my person that I picked, his name is Graylin Anthony, and he
Okay.
worked for Amazon
Work.
in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Mhm.
He decided to donate his full bonus check of $10,000 to Levine's Children's Hospital.
Wow.
Mhm. So a few years ago, Amazon launched Alexa Thank My Driver program, allowing customers to express gratitude to their delivery drivers. And for every thank you received through the Alexa-enabled device,
Right.
Amazon provided a $5 tip to the respective driver. This initiative aimed to recognize and reward drivers for their dedication and hard work.
Mhm.
Among the top 5 drivers who received the most thank yous, one of them was Graylin Anthony. And in acknowledgement of his exceptional service, they gave him that $10,000 bonus. So that's a lot of $5. He must have
Hell
been
yeah.
busting his ass and been on his shit.
Well,
Because-
as somebody that worked for UPS for 17 goddamn years, so you pick up when they actually run your numbers of
Mhm.
how many packages you deliver a day, a week, a month, a year, and then some.
Yeah.
It gets up there in those numbers. So I see it. I can see how it happened.
So he didn't just do a little bit of it. He did the entire sum.
Work.
And his contribution was intended to support the hospital in purchasing essential medical supplies and providing care for pediatric patients. So that's who I would say I would want to be when I grow up.
That is inspiring.
Yes.
Work. All right. Well, black men are winning because I mentioned before. Of course, with the political climate as heavy and life altering as it is right now, it shouldn't be a shock that my ears perked up this week for Senator Cory Booker. So lately, it seems like everybody has had this attitude of, where are the Democrats? What are they doing? Why aren't they stopping Trump and his minions? Which, I mean, why? Because the Republicans are literally the majority in every one of the three branches of American government. But we asked for somebody to do something, and he did something. Did you see the speech? It was 25 hours long, so maybe you didn't watch every moment, but maybe you saw the highlights.
I didn't watch any of it.
Okay.
But tell me about it.
So, all right. When I grow up, I want to be like Senator Cory Booker. So his groundbreaking speech in the Senate was not only a display of his unwavering commitment to justice, but also a powerful reminder of the impact that just one person can have on the entire national dialogue. He spoke for it was like 25 hours and 25 minutes on Monday evening. He stood on the Senate floor. He began a speech that criticized the Trump administration. He's 55-year-old Democrat from New Jersey. And when I tell you, that man kept talking and talking and talking, like through the night on to the next day. 25 hours, 25 minutes. He did not sit. He didn't eat. He didn't shit. He didn't piss. He started his speech at 7 p.m. on Monday and pledged to use his time to disrupt, quote, the normal business of the United States Senate for as long as I am physically able, end quote.
Damn.
He also said, and I quote, in just 71 days, the president has inflicted harm after harm on Americans' safety, financial stability, the foundations of our democracy, and any sense of common decency. These are not normal times in our nation, and they should not be treated as such in the United States Senate. End quote.
That's crazy.
Listen,
not crazy, but
nah, his approach, it reminds me, as a black man, I admire his ability to articulate the struggles of communities with like such empathy and clarity. Mm-hmm. He shared personal stories. He shared memories, even letters from his constituents that highlighted like just the devastating shit that people are going through right now.
Yeah.
With the mass incarceration, shedding light on the systemic racism, all of the shit that we talk about in hour or 2 hour increments on our show and the countless other podcasts out here. Mm-hmm. This is what he did in 25 hours nonstop, just giving everything back to the Republicans. Not one of them challenged him that entire 25 hours. And how could you? How could you?
Because they're going through the same shit.
Exactly.
That's why.
Y'all are running around. Y'all are hiding from people.
Mm-hmm. It didn't affect just one party. Everybody is feeling the result of the decision that was made to have this man be the president of the United States, unfortunately.
Yep. But to that black man, his approach, he reminded me that it's essential to fight for change while uplifting people around you. Because in a world that often feels divided, Cory Booker and that ability to bridge gaps and connect with people from like all walks of life. It shows the importance of compassion. It shows the importance of understanding. It shows why you need diversity. Yep. There are so many stories that we don't hear and don't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. Even as diverse as we are as black people and welcoming and all of that shit, we still set the standard and we love everybody equally.
Yeah.
Some of y'all more than others, because white people, y'all be wilding. Anyways, that's what I want to be like when I grow up. Guess up next, if it were lyric. You ready for some questions? Or?
Yes, I am. Give me one quick second.
All right. Well, while you do that, we're going to let them listen to this. We'll be right back.
Okay, I want to take a moment to say thank you to Donald Trump, not out of praise, but out of truth. Because while you rip through every part of this government, tearing down justice, equality, and fairness under the fake excuse of fighting DEI fraud, what you're really doing is confirming what black folks have been saying for generations. America was built on racism, fueled by fear and sustained by white supremacy. You've exposed it all. The masks are off. The polite racism, the fake allyship, the colorblind lies, it's all gone. Now we see it raw and unfiltered. You're not just targeting policy, you're targeting people. Black people, brown people, marginalized communities. And the wild part, we make up the smallest portion of this country, yet somehow we are the biggest threat to the lie that white supremacy built. That should tell you everything. You're afraid not of violence, not of replacement, but of the power we hold even when we have nothing. You see the way our culture, our brilliance, our resilience, our excellence continues to shape this country, even when it tries to erase us. Donald Trump is just the loudest version of a system that's always been in place. He is the living, breathing proof that this country was never designed with us in mind. And yet, we continue to define it. So thank you, Donald, for exposing what so many tried to deny, for showing the world that the fear of Black greatness is real, for proving that racism isn't in our imagination, it's in the fabric of this nation. And to my people, we don't have to fight to prove our worth. He's doing that for us. All we have to do is stand firm, stay awake, and know that the truth is finally louder than the lie. We are not broken. We are not the problem. We are the evidence of the power that this country can contain. Let that truth ring louder than its hate.
Maybe not what you should do, but definitely she would if it were Lyric.
Hey, you guys, it's your girl, Miss Lyric, and I'm back with my segment, If It Were Lyric, where I give my advice to you guys' stories and questions about your relationships, situationships, friendships, and everything in between. If you want to continue to send me your advice, questions, and stories, please send them to lyricbravado@gmail.com. Now let's get into it. All right. It's been a while.
You want to go first or me?
Yeah, I can go first.
Work.
Let's see. This one is from Bethany. All right. Bethany says, "Hey, Lyric, I have an issue. My boyfriend carelessly revealed a good morning X-rated text he sent to a coworker.
Yikes.
This is what it said. She said to him, 'I wish we had disappearing messages,' and he had laugh emojis. And then I saw a picture of her meow meow.
Who sends pictures of the cat? I'm playing.
They talked about how I may have poisoned his food, so clearly he's told her I've been crazy. I haven't. Why the fuck would she think that? The whole story is nuts to me, to be honest. I can't even type it out right now. I feel like I'm going to puke. Today has been tough. I've given him everything. My dad gave him his first music industry job." Okay.
Problematic. Don't you see what's happening to Danny? Stop this.
I feel like I'm dying. He denied outright doing anything wrong, while all my friends are in total shock that he'd do this to me. He denied it until later and somehow spun it around and made it my fault. He wanted to split up with me for a while, but I made him sad and guilty when we have conversations about our relationship, apparently. So that's my fault too. I haven't always been impeccable, neither has he, and he's pushed me a few months back. He recently made fun of my weight, but he's my best friend. Why would he betray me like this?
Wow.
It's beyond me. We've been through so much together, much more than any young couple should. I'm heartbroken, and I can't believe that I've been betrayed this way. I may not be perfect, but I would not have done him like this. Even through the bad times, I have stuck right beside him. I'm in shock and so upset. If anyone has words for me to cut and burn a little less right now, I know it would be you. What should I do? Girl, leave his ass. Say no more. Leave his ass. Because I heard so many red flags within this story.
Were they flags? I feel like they were bold.
He put
They were red bold.
hands on you already.
Yikes.
He disrespected you and is entertaining females outside of your
Ooh.
relationship. He doesn't respect you. He takes advantage of your kindness and he talks bad about you. Making fun of your weight, girl.
You deserve so much better.
He
You
does not like you.
deserve
And
so
he's
much better.
time and time again that he does not like you. Why he won't leave sounds like you come from money. From your dad providing him some sort of job in the music industry, it sounds like you got a little bit of coin, and that's what he's holding on to. Because if he's that miserable, even though he's told you that he wants to break up, he still could leave you. Why hasn't he made that decision? You need to cut him off. You need to do what you need to do and move on, because he does not like you. He does not value you. He does not want you around his person. He's just keeping you along for his own selfish reasons. And for him to spin something around and make it seem like you're the problem. Yes, relationships go through things, and yes, it takes two. However, this sounds like a narcissist, and he's very much gaslighting you into feeling guilty and using that as an excuse to be inappropriate. No, he don't respect you. He don't like you. So let him go and find somebody else who will. Because what one won't do, the next person will.
Hallelujah.
That is the truth.
That was solid. I love that.
And that's my advice for you, Bethany. I hope that you are able to move forward. Heal, first of all, before you go dipping and dabbing into a next relationship. Heal yourself, and then once you've done that, open yourself up to be able to love again and receive it properly, so you don't bring that baggage into the next relationship. And that's about it. Hope that helped.
It does. Wow. Okie dokie. All right, this one. Shit, I just lost it. All right, family. Click. All right. Hey, Lyric, how are you? Thanks for the podcast. You all keep my week moving. I'm not sure if you want to use this for nauseous news or not, but I'm asking for your input. My aunt, who is in her late 70s, has always been passionate about cooking for family gatherings. However, over the years, her culinary choices have left a lot to be desired, and to be honest, most of us dread her holiday meals. Let me give you a little backstory. Last Thanksgiving, she tried to make her famous potato salad, which she claims is a family recipe, and you already know how Black people are about potato salad. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a soggy, bland mess that nobody could choke down. Then there was the time that she attempted to make pumpkin pie, but forgot to add sugar. Tasted more like pumpkin pie paste than dessert. And don't even get me started on her infamous pot roast made from meat that had everyone playing Guess That Animal. Now with Easter approaching, she's already excited, asking what everyone wants her to cook, and I can tell she's expecting a big turnout. The truth is, no one really wants her to take the reins this year, but I don't know how to break that to her without hurting her feelings. Let me stop playing. I do love my aunt, like for real, and I appreciate her enthusiasm and all she does for me and the family, but I'm worried about how to handle this situation delicately. If it were you, how would you approach this? I was thinking about lying and suggesting a potluck where everybody contributes to give everybody to give everybody options, and that's if they show. Or do I need to bite the bullet and tell her the truth? I want to be respectful, but also ensure that we have a pleasant Easter without the fear of her disasters in the kitchen. Thanks for your help. Love. News to make you nauseous, niece.
Child, this is so easy. First of all,
Uh-oh. I feel like you about to go into That's the Raven mode.
No. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you do, but how you do it. With everything you do when it comes to conversations like this, you have to be very careful about what you say, for one. But you also have to use tactics. You said she's 70 years old. You can always bring to her attention that the new generation would like to take over and let her rest. Let her know that it's now y'all time to take care of everything and that she doesn't have to worry. All she has to do is sit back and relax because she's earned it. That sounds better than you saying, Auntie, your food is fucking nasty and everybody be getting sick. So we don't want your old ass to cook for us no more.
Auntie, it sucks.
Just be tactful in what you say. Sometimes you catch more bees with honey. And it's true. Sometimes you gotta, sweeten the deal and just be nice about it. Just be fucking nice about it. Tell her, we appreciate all of the holiday stuff that you've done, but we would like to take over and take that off of you now. You've earned it. You're getting older, and we want to be more responsible for this. And see what she says about that. Now, if she keep pressing you out, and
that's when you need to be like, Auntie, I love you, but nobody wants fried grizzly bear this year.
Hey.
Nobody wants that.
You might have to be a little bit more aggressive in your tactfulness. But that's what I would start with, and that's what I would definitely do if I were in your shoes. I would just be tactful and use kindness and sweetness to not hurt my aunt's feelings, but let her know that she don't need to worry about it. We got this.
We love you. You suck.
You suck. Yep, and that's about it. That's my advice. If you guys want to continue sending me your advice, questions, and stories, please send them to my email at lyricbravado@gmail.com.
Okie dokie. So, how pop culture have you been this week, ma'am? Dipped in, dipped out, or been spoonful?
I've seen some, but I haven't been obsessed with anything.
All right, let's see what we got on the timeline.
I got a couple things I could talk about, though. Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back.
By April 5th, TikTok could be banned unless they sell to a U.S.-owned company. It never fails. Every single time something starts to benefit marginalized people, build a community, or actually spread information, weirdly, it becomes a national threat. And then boom, the government shows up and they're like, oh, wait, this is for your safety. Oh, really? Because it's giving, we don't like how loud you're getting. So let's talk about it. Y'all remember the Patriot Act? Yeah, that post 9/11 one that they told us was to keep Americans safe, which was a translation for spy on your phone calls, dig through your emails, profile Muslim communities, and pretend it was patriotism. According to the ACLU, the government used that to conduct mass surveillance without warrants. But hey, we're safe, right? Let's be real. We know this ain't about safety. This is about control because they were okay when this app was full of dances and trends and stuff like that. But now it's Black creators like myself, Indigenous educators, trans voices, historians, activists that are talking loud and reaching millions. And suddenly it's dangerous. Weird. Meanwhile, Facebook can mine your data, push misinformation, swing elections, and nobody's rushing to ban that. So let me ask you, if the government only bans platforms that give a voice to marginalized people, was it ever really about safety? Or was it about silencing us before we build real power? We've seen this play before. They dress it up in safety, but what they're really protecting is the status quo. Every time we get a little too informed, a little too organized, a little too unified, they find a way to snatch it away. So yeah, if we lose this platform, check the link tree. It's in my bio. All my socials are there. And so is a Google Doc, a working Google Doc, which contains all of the information that I've collected and written in preparation for all these videos that I've made thus far. So if they do take this app, and I don't see you on the other platforms, stay loud, stay learning, and don't fall for the rebrand. Oppression doesn't need a new name.
Time to troll.
All right, stuck my toe into a little bit of pop culture this week. Ladies first, or just go with it?
We could just go with it. Go with it.
See, let's start off this week talking about Mr. Terrence Howard. According to TMZ, Terrence Howard, this is what the headline says. Diddy tried to fuck me, but I kept my man card.
Wait, what? Hold on. You said Terrence Howard did that? You talking about what that trick? You talking about listen to my type name?
Lucius himself. Lucius Lyon himself.
Oh my gosh.
So, Terrence Howard, I'm reading from TMZ. Terrence Howard just gave a glimpse into what he said was the dark side of Hollywood. And one example he used from his personal experience was none other than Diddy. The film and TV actor was a recent guest on Patrick Bet-David's PBD podcast, where he claimed he was targeted by Diddy for sex under the guise of coaching. All jokes aside, that was the headline, but he says Terrence claims Diddy had no material to work on and just stared at me while performing. While before asking Terrence to play some music again, to just stare at him. Nothing was accomplished. When Diddy invited him to come back over another time, Terrence said he realized Diddy only wanted to have sex with him. To be clear, he didn't accuse Diddy of any wrongdoing. Terrence said a lot of people give up their man card to make it happen in Hollywood and become successful. But he refused to do it at any point. So he's adding into this whole Cat Williams booty cult thing. I don't know. I hate entertaining news like this because it gets conspiracy theory and weird.
It can't be a conspiracy theory if people have been saying this for years.
Well, I'm talking about okay. I have to accept the fact that certain people believe that if you sacrifice to the booty god, then you can be famous, even though it has not happened for me in this entire 40 some odd years of being, gay.
Be a rapper and see what happens. You gonna be the next Lil Nas X.
But Lil Nas X is not even
tomorrow.
His career makes sense to me.
Hey,
he trolled as a Nicki troll. He got up fame. I mean, it's pivotal. He played a straight man in that weird ass video with Billy Ray Cyrus. Mm-hmm. Got the fame and then did what black people do.
Listen, I have my own personal stories. It is not a lie. It is the truth. Executives will ask you to be in uncompromising positions.
Now that happens all of the time. That happens all of the time.
It is true.
Yes, that I believe. But that's more of a using your position of power in order to manipulate people, unless let's worship the booty god. Like there's a very distinct difference between the two.
Is it?
Okay, because the truth is out there. What? I mean, what are we doing?
That's why I ain't never make it in the industry, because I ain't doing that shit. Y'all got me fucked up. Don't ask me, because I'm gonna cut your ass out. Tell you where to go.
Okay.
Period. Yeah.
Booty god, sure. Okay.
And I news.
That should be the show title, Booty God. No, but it will immediately not be picked up by nobody see that shit. Trump, damn. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I miss my old president news. Former President Barack Obama addressed President Trump's latest decision and the impact of his latest decision to ban the Associated Press from political press pool after they refused to use the term Gulf of America, which has been established under his executive order.
Oh my God.
During his remarks, he stated, "It's unimaginable that the same parties who are silent now would have tolerated such behavior for me or me. Why does it say that? From me or a whole bunch of my predecessor or my predecessors."
And you know what? I agree.
I agree, because if it had been Obama, oh please, you'd have had people out there and then some. Like, stop this.
They would have got his black ass out of office immediately.
We would not have been anywhere near here.
Nope. He further stated, I'm more deeply concerned with a federal government that threatens universities if they don't give up students who are exercising their right to free speech. The idea that a White House can say to law firms, if you represent parties that we don't like, we're going to pull all of our business or bar you from representing people effectively. That kind of behavior is contrary to the basic compact we have as Americans. He said, what the fuck he said.
I know that's right.
Okay. Well, I have nothing to pivot into this next story because it is about Joe Budden. But headline, according to TMZ, Joe Budden, hip hop's about to croak thanks to trash music and RICO cases. So, have you ever listened to the Joe Budden podcast?
Sometimes in passing.
Okay. He expressed his deep thoughts on the current state of hip hop, declaring it dead in a, of course, metaphorical sense. He pointed out that the genre has shifted significantly, with artists like Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and Lil Durk representing a new wave of talent, which I don't know why Durk is. Never mind. He said he reflected on how the music and culture have evolved, suggesting that the essence of hip hop has changed, leading to a decline in its original authenticity and impact. Thoughts? Oh, you're on mute.
Because I
saw your mouth moving.
Nothing further to say. Nope. Because fuck that nigga with his weird ass.
Why Joe Budden gotta be weird, Larry?
It's weird. He's very weird. I don't really like him like that.
No, you never explained this to me. Why you personally don't like him?
He's a womanizer.
Well, I mean, I didn't know if you knew that part because a lot of people.
Oh yes, I absolutely did. I also put hands on women too. So.
Okie dokie. I let people come to certain conclusions by themselves. Yeah, speaking of fuck niggas, there's a pivot.
Right.
Here we go. Did you hear about the one that got away again?
Who? Wait,
Young Thug, you hear?
No, what happened with him?
He got off again. So, all right. What was it I was reading? See, this is what happens when I be missing weeks of podcasting. All right, so I wrote down he was supposed to be going back to jail, but now he's not. Judge Whitaker said Young Thug's social media post on Tuesday, reposting a blogger's photo of the police investigator on the stand and adding the caption, "Biggest liar in the DA office," was not wise, but not enough to get him locked up again. So the judge said, having reviewed the terms and conditions of his probation imposed by the court declines to revoke the defendant's probation based on the violation asserted. So,
you can't.
And then I'll go,
man down. No.
Then I go to the comments. This clown is going to get locked up sooner than later. He's going to feel untouchable. And then somebody, I agree. Something's bound to happen when you're on probation for 15 years. Wow.
I guess.
But then the opposing says, I'm glad Judge Whitaker is a good-hearted person. She doesn't fall for the nitpicking.
Right.
I mean,
because we definitely need more judges like that.
Especially in this climate where people have apparently forgotten what is and is not the law. So we definitely need somebody that reads and digest information and can spit it back out in ways that everybody can understand.
Speaking of the law, let's talk about this possible kidnapping. Did you hear about Marvin Sapp and what he did?
No.
Guess what? Never would have gave it. Because had it been me,
Oh yes. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know what you're talking about now.
I've been sad.
Shit. Yeah, I heard about this
water because he was at a church event and he decided he was going to instruct the church ushers to close the door and ask the congregation for $40K. That sounds like extortion and kidnapping to me. And if it was, I'll be petty and I'm pressing charges because who you think you holding up hostage for $40,000?
How come nobody ever points in that direction for cults and shit? It's always got to be fictional booty cults. It can't never be the niggas actually sitting there demanding and taking money directly from me. Okay, let me leave this alone. Go ahead.
I never would have paid it. Okay, never.
No, so you got to catch me up because I saw this headline and clicked off. So, did people actually have to pay, or
no, some people actually stayed and paid the little $20 that he asked the churchgoers to go to donate. And not only that, he wanted them to be quiet while they was doing it. That sounds like a stick up. What are you talking about? Get down. Get down on the ground. Don't say nothing, not a word. Don't move. Don't do nothing. This is a stick up. You know what it is. Give me your money. Give me your jewels. Give me your phones. Give me all the shit that you got on your wallet and on your persons. Yeah. Don't say nothing. Don't move. Lock them doors. Ain't nobody moving until I get what I want. Once I get what I want, I'm gonna leave. What does that sound like in every fucking action movie where somebody is robbing a bank or any type of establishment? Don't it sound similar? Nigga, why would you do that?
Crazy.
Nobody is ever going to let you forget that you did that. There have been so many skits.
That is crazy to me. My God.
Since he's decided to do this, like, no. This happened to me and my family in real life, though. Like, when I was a kid. Somebody tried it. The church that I used to go to, that I grew up in, they brought a visiting speaker. Reverend. I can't remember what the service was about or whatever. It might have been a church anniversary thing or something.
All right.
So the guy, you know, they get paid. They get paid to come out and, you know, preach to other churches and stuff. They get caught. Well, I guess he didn't like what he got. And it's so funny because me and my dad just talked about this the other day, and he refreshed my memory to what happened, like extra details. So I didn't remember that part of it. He didn't like what was on his check, so he said, "I'm going to raise another offering for myself." Okay.
No.
Told the deacons slash security that was in the church to block the doors and nobody leave until they raised, like, it was some short shit. It wasn't like $40,000. It was like maybe $2,000 or something he wanted. My father said these words, but basically, you got me fucked up. So he was like, he instructed us. We was leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And I will never forget this part. We got to the door and the guy tried to stop my father. And this is what made it scary because my dad's a big dude. And so he don't really have to do a whole bunch of barking and shit. His calm demeanor is more scary than his loud shit, for real.
Right.
Because you know he ain't fucking playing.
Mm-hmm.
Told that man, he said, you either move aside and allow me to go through the door, or you're going to go through the door with me, whether you like it or not.
Hallelujah.
That motherfucker moved the fuck out the way. Because
I know he did.
Okay?
In Jesus' name. Hallelujah.
That day would have been your last. And believe that.
Okay.
You would have been seeing Jesus for real. Yeah. Because that's kidnapping. That's crazy.
Oh, happy day. Wow. I cannot believe that. But you know what? When the story was told to me, the person that was telling me, they have also church background.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently this is not uncommon. Like, and you just said your own experience. So the fact that people are out, okay. Again, I will point. Y'all won't point the fingers in them directions for cult-like behavior.
Listen,
Y'all won't point it at MAGA.
I got 2 hands. I'm pointing all the fingers. You the problem, you the problem, you the problem, you the problem, you the problem. Where's the solution? Let's fix it. That's
It's
where I'm at.
raining problems. You got anything else?
Do we care about Russell Brand and I guess not. You know who Russell Brand is?
No, that was a real who. That wasn't.
Oh, okay. Russell Brand.
That wouldn't be who.
He used to mess with Katy Perry.
Okay, something's coming back. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Did you hear how he was charged with multiple sexual assault offenses dating back to 1999 for the 2000?
No.
Yeah.
What did he do?
So British police have charged
allegedly. I'm sorry.
Rape and multiple sexual assault offenses following an 18-month investigation. So they've been watching your motherfucking nasty ass. Metropolitan Police announced in a news release on Friday that Brand, age 50, faces charges including 1 count of rape, 1 count of indecent assault, 1 count of oral rape, and 2 counts of sexual assault. The charges stem from allegations made by 4 women, with incidents reporting occurring between 1999 and 2005. See, I said 1999 for the 2000. I said it. Yeah. Detectives say they've been investigating the allegations since September of 2023. Brand is scheduled to appear in Westminster Magistrates Court in London on May the 2nd. Katy Perry, boo, you dodged a motherfucking bullet, huh?
Yeah, now we know that dark horse she was talking about. All right.
That was good.
You see, I worked that in. It ain't all gone. I'm in my 40s. I ain't dead. Fuck y'all.
That was a good one.
All right. So, I guess, what else you got?
I didn't really care about too much else, honestly.
Yeah, I guess we'll move on to my segment up next on unseasoned behavior. All right, we'll be right back.
It's Thursday night, and here's what happened. Trump's tariffs have essentially crashed the stock market, and all of the gains that the U.S. dollar has made since he became president have been totally wiped out. But what exactly does that mean for the average person? Because most people don't own stocks, so they hear something like the stock market crashed, and they're like, okay, what's that got to do with me? Your 401k and your retirement benefits, your pensions, the banks that you use, they all have that money wrapped up in the stock market. So while you may not own any individual stocks, your retirement planning is very likely tied to the health of the American stock market. We also know that tariffs are import taxes, meaning things coming into the United States, and that import tax is rolled into the final cost of the goods and products and foods that you purchase. So the dollar has lost value, retirement accounts and stocks have lost value, and now goods cost even more. In a couple of months, if Trump is successful in eliminating the Department of Education and ending federal funding for schools, then folks are going to see their property taxes go up. And that doesn't just affect homeowners, that affects renters as well, because your landlord is certainly going to raise the rent to make up for those new property taxes he has to pay. What's the Department of Education have to do with property tax? Well, thanks to some very racist policies from the 1960s, school funding is directly tied to property taxes. This is how they ended up with very rich neighborhoods having much nicer schools. In addition to property taxes, the federal government also pays typically about 20 to 30% of the school's budget for them to operate. Now, if the federal government pulls back those funds, they have to make them up somehow. And that's just to keep operating schools at the level they're at right now. And their option is really only to raise property taxes to make up that budget deficit. Well, couldn't the schools just do without or cut back? No, because they already did that, and you can't get blood from a stone. The schools are barely funded as it is. Every single time in history massive tariffs have been put in, they have been a massive failure. And that's why you're seeing even Senate Republicans right now scrambling to try and undo some of the Trump tariffs or delay them from being enacted. That's not going to help with the stock market prices, really. And overall, the Trump administration's behavior on the world stage hasn't made us any friends abroad. So we're going to continue to have issues with our trade partners, whether they call off these tariffs or not. I hope that helps you understand what's happening with the tariffs and the US dollar right now. Are we in a recession? Yeah. Have we been in a recession before? Yes. Some people are going to be able to ferry this better than others, but it is more important than ever that we stick together and we stand united against these tyrannical tariffs.
Marcus has your glimpse into a world without seasoning.
Okie dokie. So this week I want to kind of touch on this repeated argument I see as the Democrats try to regroup and figure out where they went wrong, and now different social groups are having civilized discussions. Finally, I mean, people are talking. And one of the things that I keep seeing is this argument that one of the reasons, or the reason, that Kamala didn't win was because the Democrats are way too PC, politically correct, and that people nowadays really don't care. It's just when y'all be trying to put people on blast and blah 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 when they say something ignorant, everybody's just like, they're basically just trying to make the argument that everybody's too PC, and because of this politically correct and charged environment that people like Kamala can't win. I've heard this argument before, and here I sit again hearing it again. Here's where my personal experience is different. I'm openly gay now, but like I said earlier, there was a time in my life that I wasn't. So it sometimes lets me look at things a tad differently, and here's my take. Yes, we live in a very politically correct and politically charged atmosphere. But that's because when we collectively had the opportunities to treat people with respect, we chose to do the opposite of it, or sidestep it, or clown it, or do anything other than just respecting it. We made that choice. And now, more than ever, we see that very hurt manifesting physically. So people have started taking better care of their mental health and being mindful of the ways that they address and treat one another in attempt to heal. When you fall and scrape your knee, do you heal that open wound gently? Or are you one of these scab peelers that helps create environments where people's trauma is repeated while they're trying to heal from it and seek joy in constantly and consistently poking at it? Which one sounds better to you? Because the shit's quite simple to me. Think about it. A world where you start addressing people how they want to be addressed, regardless of your own opinion of how they should be their best self. A world where you find out somebody you know likes shit you don't in the bedroom, that you just mind your business. A world where when somebody with broad shoulders got to pee real bad, you don't stop that bitch at the door asking to see her genitals. One where when a woman starts a job, you stop asking to touch that lady's hair, acting like she bitch your nephew when you see her in a business suit and her hair in an afro running shit. Like, that you stop holding the brother back because you're afraid he'll do better than you and leave your ass the same way that you've been left over and over and over and over. See how in all those few examples and the thousands, millions of others, we've all dealt with some kind of discrimination or trauma in some way, shape, or form, and depending on which thing it was, where we personally played a role, or may have made a misstep that may not have been the best look, over and over. That's why we try to be politically correct, because you don't always know where a person has come from. People have different backgrounds, they just do. And whatever space you're in can dictate your comfort level. Ain't nobody saying you gotta have rainbow wind chimes to show solidarity. They're just simply saying, don't be, I'm saying you don't. We're just saying don't be a dick. But we ain't gotten there yet as people. In all of these instances, these are things that still happen
daily, today, yesterday, and I'm willing to bet money tomorrow. It's because we aren't there yet. Nobody's asking you to alter your entire life and let lesbian scissor on your boss's desk. People just want to be respected. Great, he has nail polish on. Wow, her voice is deeper than mine. A woman in construction? That's crazy. Like, we aren't there. And I even catch myself making certain jokes I would have maybe made 10 years ago. Like, sometimes, but you can be funny and not be disrespectful. You can have uncomfortable conversations without saying something you know either isn't your business or may just be curious about. We all have that. And we can all have those conversations. You just got to respect people. So the next time you find yourself in conversations leading in that direction, remind yourself of the part you played in it before you go deciding for people what they should and shouldn't be offended by. Because, listen, I'm usually quiet, but masculine presenting. So straight men don't even think twice before they say or do shit around me. That's kind of fucked up. And a lot of y'all are fucked up in some ways. In more ways than I can count. It's that not just men, not just women, not just gays or theys. It's just all of us. We can do better. So many of us, we could, but we just often choose not to. Y'all won't say nothing to your homies saying fucked up shit to the queer person in your building because y'all afraid them same niggas will think that you're with them or on the DL or whatever weird ass other booty ritual shit y'all done made up or decided was true, all for fear of how others will see you. When the gag is that them gays, them people that you're making fun of, they're stronger and more confident because they've had to continuously overcome judgment from people over and over while you're openly running from your own, bitch. So, and the bigger gag is that a lot of them weird ass times y'all going way extra with the inclusivity is strange sometimes to even us. All these new medicine commercials gotta have a chubby black woman with some illness because y'all love that shit. She gotta have a gay white husband. They gotta have racially ambiguous children. Y'all's out of touch marketing divisions and CEOs do that shit and then blame us for saying that we don't want to be forgotten. No one's asking for no teenage mutant ninja hybrid homo hetero biracial family, bitch. We just don't want to be passed up when y'all are handing out rights because y'all don't like what I like in the bedroom. That's it. That's it. I was going to try to end on a positive note, but I ain't got nothing.
Drag her.
Sorry.
Up next, the second half of our show.
Yeah. Wow. Up next. We'll be back.
What is so frustrating for so many of the American people, the ones that are watching right now and otherwise, and the reason that they're outraged and scared is because what we see right now is a diminishing of all these institutions. Right now, we have a legislative branch that has decided that it intentionally would disregard their duties. They are not checking the president whatsoever. The only check that the American people have had thus far has been from the judiciary. And the judiciary isn't pulling this out of the sky. In fact, they are coming from basic reading of like the plain language of the Constitution for all of those that are constitutionalists when we start talking about things such as what birthright citizenship is. But one of the things that I want to make sure that I get to, because there are deeper implications if we go down this rabbit hole. Imagine the type of world where the president does whatever he wants to and no one can rein him in. It's a world that right now many people are afraid of. Let me put it this way. If Joe Biden would have done an executive order for abortion, despite what the Supreme Court said, that would have been a problem. Imagine if the state of Colorado kept Trump off the ballot and other states follow suit. That would have been a problem. Or imagine if Jack Smith ignored Eileen Cannon and with the help of an activist judge decided that he was going to prosecute the sitting president anyway. The problem that we have right now is that if we continue down this road, then we will not have a rule of law because we have people that are currently serving and they're saying things like, ignore the judge's order. What it means to have law and order in this country is that you follow the order and you go through the appeals process, even if you dislike what the judge did. Thank you, and I yield.
Why do you have roaches?
The Why File.
Why do my children hate me?
On WRTR Real Talk Radio.
Why did my vagina burn?
The truth is out there.
Explaining the unexplained. We're answering why. It's the questions you want to know by over on Blue Sky, taking your skeets at WRTR Radio. I love Blue Sky. I am really starting to like it because it's so politically charged and I thrive there. So anyways, this is the Why Files. Remember, the truth is out there. We also, oh shit, I forgot the emails. I'll do it at the end. Go ahead. What you got?
My why comes from me. Duh. And my why is this. Why people gotta fucking steal, yo? Why did that man choose me? And this was a rough week that I really needed to catch up on certain things, and I feel a way about it.
Okay.
Why didn't I
speak on it, sister? This is our venting session.
Why didn't I wait to call the police? So I could have got that man's face, so I could have hunted him down like I was a bounty hunter in one of those action movies and fucked his ass up.
Okay, so you went left on me there. I thought you was gonna say something spiritual. You like, I'm gonna fight that hoe.
I do.
Ooh.
I do, and my feelings are valid, and that's how I feel.
I love it, and I love it.
I want to fight. I do. I want to punch that man in the face and let him know the drama and trauma that he bestowed on me for this week. You didn't just steal from me. And people who steal, you need to realize that you're not just stealing from the person that you're taking. They sometimes have whole families and stuff and people who depend on them.
No, that's real talk.
And my kids depend on me. I needed to buy food and I needed to pay bills, and that was mine to do so. And you left me $50 fucking in my account. Thanks for that. Thanks for not taking everything. I mean, but you might as well. Could have, because you took the bulk of my money. And I want to say,
who's to say he wouldn't have taken the other 50 because had he not been caught in time? So I mean, you gave that to him.
I mean, he wasn't caught in time because he still got away with it, but I didn't find out about it until like 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was sleeping at the time. This happened around 8:20 in the morning. And he made 2 transactions so he could take all of this fucking money out my account.
Wow.
Which makes it worse. So that day, I had to do so much running around to get another card and file police report and do this and do that. Like, it was annoying as shit. It's supposed to be a simple day. Why can't I find that man?
Well, the conversation I will have with you in person is a lot different than the conversation I'm going to have with you in an audience. So, yeah. I get it, friend, and I'm sorry. I really am sorry. That had to be traumatic. I hate that you even had to deal with that. I hate that you were targeted. And I hate even more that the babies, that people are taking out here from actual children and families. And wow, something's got to change.
It really do. Why? Because the truth is out there and I'm going to find your ass, nigga.
Work. All right. So since you picked your why from you, my why comes from me.
This is a treat because he don't never give his own why, y'all.
Why do white people start movements, get attention, and then go missing?
Oh, shit.
So I want to talk about the silent riot. I had positive things to say last week, or like in one of the weeks, we took 2 weeks off. So, but I'm glad that we took a few weeks off, because the second you say nice shit about white people, it's been my experience that they will disappoint you. Today is no different. Silent Riot was a movement organized by a man I spoke to via TikTok. Now, before I drag him, I will share some of our exchange on TikTok. All right, so he says, this idea came up after a video I posted went viral back on March 7th. I'm in a rural town in Colorado, and it's hard to be a part of a big protest to gather attention. So the Silent Riot, a digital uprising, was created to give everyone a place to feel unified. Unified with a simple, powerful video each week that addresses the challenges that we are facing. This first launch was to stir up, interact, curiosity, piss some people off, and also confuse people a bit. And it worked. Momentum is still going up, so I'm hoping to keep this up. This week, we launch a collective video targeting mainstream media outlets, both left and right outlets, hoping the amount of people making this video will double and create quite a stir. All good. Seemingly cute. Like, it's a good idea, right, Lyra? You think? So I contacted this guy on TikTok. And we had a exchange back and forth. I was going to talk about it on the podcast, promote it, use this platform to kind of build that image. The issue that I have is that he made the video literally trying to spark a flame. And when it ignited and set ablaze and his movement started to get traction, this person allegedly started receiving backlash and harassment. I'm unclear on the threats of violence or not. Here is where we differ historically as a people, black and white people, because I promise you, no movement we've ever made happen, again, for the betterment of everybody, no movement that we've ever done as a people that has ever been met with a plate or a dish of warm cookies and shit. We have always had to stand up for ourselves, kicking down doors and making shit happen. We got shot with rubber bullets, actual bullets. Our baby's been fed to alligators. We've been gassed, whipped, run over, torn apart, sewn together, and we still rose then and will still rise again because we stand for something. This shit had me really disappointed because I was looking for a movement to help blow up with this particular platform that could gather, like, from some of the less active people that aren't any less upset about what's going on, but maybe don't have the kind of lives that allow them to be, like, on the front line. There's room literally for everybody in this resistance. So I was looking for a platform to be able to push and, promote. And you had actual people chiming in. It made movements. It just, like, the idea was to disrupt the algorithm that's being manipulated to silence people's voices and further push Trump's agenda. Literally all of these platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all heavily politicized in order to keep his drooling maggots fooled into believing they have more numbers than they actually do. But you fell off when you got threats. And listen, I get it. Everybody ain't made for battle, and that's fine. But I get it. I get it. But stop making these mini movements for likes and attention if you're not going to use that power and pedestal we put you on to do what you said you were going to do. In that sense, you are no better than Trump, the man you claim to be outraged by. And that goes to Anonymous J and the several other people that I see blowing up despite technology being turned on us to start movements that they then abandon. I'm sick of it. If you're going to stand. Otherwise, stop taking people's attention away from the Cory Bookers out here ready to follow through. Why? Because the truth is out there and it's right there. And that wraps up.
Can't stand the heat, stay the fuck out the kitchen,
It's like, why even start the movement if the moment they bark back, you gonna go run in the doghouse
with your tail between your legs?
Like, why do it?
Because you ain't about that life. That's why.
And that's why you don't see black. You know what? I'm gonna save that for real talk. Anyways, that wraps it up for this week's Wild Files. An email address if you want to send those questions and continue to do so. It's at WRTRradio@gmail.com. News Make You Nauseous is up next. Remember,
The truth is out there.
Yes, it is.
We are in Yemen right now, and the United States has been telling the world that they have been targeting with airstrikes Houthi rebel military bases. But this is not a Houthi military base I'm in, but it was bombed 11 times by the United States over the past 2 weeks. The most recent bombing they did on this building was 2 days ago. And this is in a rural, very impoverished part of Yemen called Sada. And they bombed this 11 times. Guess what it is? A cancer hospital. It was going to be the most technologically advanced cancer hospital, oncology, for all the people of Yemen. And the United States decided to bomb it 11 times. Now, of course, there are occasional times when they hit, military targets. There are military targets in this country, of course. But the vast majority of the time, 95% of the time, they're not hitting military targets. This is a cancer hospital. We're about to go visit a university that was already constructed, being used by students, which was also bombed to the ground, much worse than this. 11 times, though, for a cancer hospital that was under construction. The worst part is, the money here is very sparse. And you can't just do something like this easily, build a cancer hospital. And now that it's completely destroyed, it's going to be impossible for them to do this again. So this is what your taxpayer dollars are going to bombing cancer hospitals in Yemen. Fortunately, no one was hurt in these attacks, but it is absolutely horrific.
And now, say what? News to make you nauseous on WRTR Real Talk Radio. Let's go.
These are some of the stories you might not read about in the New York Times, Washington Post, or the Wall Street Journal. It's news to make you nauseous. Like the stock market. I'm nauseous. Go ahead.
Yeah, this next story made me extremely nauseous.
Okay.
Say what? Las Vegas.
Say what?
Marquetta Phillips, the woman accused of stabbing and killing a 3-year-old Journey Ross, appeared in court Tuesday morning and was held without bail. Her attorney stated they are waiting more information before proceeding with a bail hearing. During the hearing, Phillips confirmed to the judge that she had received a copy of the criminal complaint. Phillips is accused of stabbing 3-year-old autistic Journey Ross last Wednesday at an apartment complex near Eastern and Flamingo. The coroner listed the cause of death as multiple stab wounds. Investigators said Phillips was supposed to be taking care of the nonverbal toddler when the incident occurred.
We got her picture. Let's do something with that.
Journey's father was not home at the time, but returned to find his daughter stabbed. In Phillips' first court appearance last week, both of the toddler's parents spoke. Journey's mother said, "I have to sit here and explain that she took my baby." Jeremy Ross, the father, added, "She stayed with me for a year like that, you know." I don't know what that's supposed to read, but that's what it says. Okay. Phillips' legal team waived a 15-day preliminary hearing, and she is expected back in court in May. So it's very fucking sad. The babysitter killed the 3-year-old autistic nonverbal toddler.
Wow.
Who couldn't even say anything to defend herself. Like, that's... I hope she do get whatever comes her way. Because you're a fucking monster, bitch.
Never any booty rituals about people like that. All right. Say what? Providence, Rhode Island.
Say what?
Shut up.
What?
You know,
why are you?
I used to live in Newport.
Oh shit! No, I did not know that.
Yes. Continue.
Okay. Well, you know what? I actually picked this story because I thought that it would be funny for you because it's about school.
Okay.
All right. So, a sophomore at Brown University is facing the school's wrath after he sent a Doge-like email to non-faculty employees asking them what they do all day to try to figure out why his tuition was so goddamn high. He was like, hold on. So you need to tell me my bill says what? So let me start itemizing this shit. He one of them niggas that pull out a calculator when the bill come at the restaurant and be like, hold on. I ain't order this.
It's valid. It's valid. Continue though.
Listen, the inspiration for this is this is his quote. The inspiration for this is the rising cost of tuition. He told Fox News Digital in an interview. Next year, it's set to be at $93,064 to go to Brown. He estimates that the total charges, that's for the 2025 to 2026 school year. And I think that's crazy. He added, I don't understand why it costs that much, and I never understood why it costs that much. But then I did some digging and discovered that the reason why the price of college in general across the nation, but also particularly at Brown, has been rising over the past few decades. For outpacing inflation is because we're adding on administrative staff faster than we're adding students, faster than we're having professors, administrators.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Yeah, so he said people seem to get very upset. So he's been getting apparently a lot of backlash, hate, emails, yada, yada, yada. And again, the whole balance thing. Libra here. I can see what you just said as far as them adding unnecessary staff. But then when you have influencers, so to speak, like Elon Musk out here promoting these ideas that people are just expendable and nobody does everything, and I demand to know where every last cent of my spendings go. When you promote that idea, it's sometimes more harmful than helpful. Now, I will say that these college prices and these tuition charges are outlandish, but to the point, it is the rising inflation. It's because I can't even speak for our. It's because of the greed of people that are a lot wealthier than us that we are held into these spaces to where we can't really branch out and do more.
He do got a point though.
Go ahead.
Why are you hiring extra staff if you're not adding more students to accommodate these salaries? Instead, you're charging the students who are already there more tuition. That does sound crazy to me. And what are these extra people doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you adding on to campus that you need extra administrative staff for?
Well, and that's okay. The reason that this made me nauseous was because of that whole Elon idea that, this, but at the end of the day, if white America wants to keep all of the jobs here in the States, they want to keep all of the money here in the States. If they don't want to let people branch out, people aren't going to quit creating people because y'all don't believe in birth control either. So where are all these people going to work? Where are all these people going to work? Where are they going to be at? Like, it's again, it's shit rolling downhill, but it's an uphill battle. So
I think different solutions need to be made to accommodate both sides. I think both points are valid. Yes, I agree with you. In certain instances, it can cause more harm than good. But on the flip side, as me as a consumer being on the more working class, middle class, who still got to go through trying to figure out if we're choosing to pay the light bill or have groceries on the table, which is a lot of people are going through that shit right now.
Amen.
I understand. Where's my money going? Because guess what? I got to count pennies and make sure, you know what I'm saying, I know what's going what, because all of that shit counts. Every penny counts. Every dollar counts. All of that shit counts. So
yeah, but I don't know. It's I feel like we should have a better or more of a realistic conversation with the pieces of the world and what actual
wages or minimum living wage is across the board.
I definitely agree, because this shit is not popping. Like, even $20 an hour is not a fucking enough. It is not. No, it's not. Especially when you have people who can't even afford their places, because you have these places saying that you have to make 3 times the fucking rent to even get into the place. Like, that's crazy.
And if you look at just the cost of living, go back. This is something I did when I was bored one day. Go back and look at your parents' birth year. And this is to you, Lurk, and to our listeners.
I just did that for
just go back. Look at the living expenses of their birth year.
I just did that for an assignment.
Oh, well, shit. Look at me. Work. Anyways, when you look at the cost of living and how dramatically it's changed, like, these are still people that are living. Like, our parents are living. This is the boomers. It was so dramatically different from when they started to when we're starting, and nothing really has changed as far as the wage gap.
Let me tell you something. The price, and I know this for a fact because I looked it up on I can't remember what, I think it was like one of the consumer websites, consumer affair websites or something. It was a government website. It was for assignment. So this is real shit. The price of a 2-bedroom apartment in 1972 was $500 fucking dollars. Bitch!
Wow.
I was born in the wrong motherfucking
Wow.
You know how much it costs for a 2-bedroom, depending on where you are living at, is right now. And don't let it be one of those like luxury apartments. You spending some bread. You spending like $35 and up. That shit is not cheap.
It's not.
And it's not like you're getting a shitload of space either. And let's not talk about New York. New York is even worse.
I can't afford a bathroom in New York. The fuck?
And it's getting like that in DC because they raising the rent and moving the niggas out.
Listen,
people can't even afford it. That's why you see so many white people in DC now. And ain't Chocolate City no more.
Well, that's because they're trying to break that what do they call it? That bubble. I think it was. I can't remember who it was that said that there's a bubble when you come to. Somebody will tell us, but somebody on Congress, they were talking about the bubble as a euphemism for it's a lot of black people in DC, so don't come up there with this supremacist bullshit.
Some of them be acting like they lived there all their life, they grew up there, and they act like they better than people. Because I didn't went to like events or whatever, and motherfuckers acting like staring at you, acting like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, yeah, y'all better chill with that bullshit though. I'm telling you right now.
Well, you know, it's all them and their cousins that's in DC on the hands-off march right now, even as we speak. So I wanted to talk about that in Real Talk up next, if you down.
Okay.
All righty. Well, if you want these and more nauseating news stories, give us a follow over on the socials. I'm on Blue Sky at MarcusSmoot. That is Marcus Smoot.
I am not doing any skeets or tweets, but you can find me on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and sometimes on Snapchat when I feel like it at Lurk Bravado.
Okie dokie. We'll have that conversation coming right up. Be right back.
We have some news right now. The largest anti-Trump protest of this year is scheduled for this Saturday, April 5th. It's the hands-off protest. It's going to be across the country. According to organizers, 1,100 protests have been planned. Folks, I wanted to cover it live, so I'll be at the one in DC. I'll be covering it on the ground, sharing what I see, whether on live stream or just through videos. But then again, TikTok could be banned that day, so I'll be doing it on Substack, Instagram, and YouTube. All are linked to my bio, so be sure to follow me there as well. Interestingly, the office of Melania Trump, the First Lady, announced that all White House tours will be canceled for Saturday in preparation of the protests, given the fact that they expect over 250,000 people to potentially be protesting, both in DC and around the country. So I want to hear from you all. What do you want to see in these protests? Are you protesting? What's happening? I'm just trying to gather some more information, and I'll be covering it on the ground. So stay tuned and follow along for more.
Keeping it 100. It's Real Talk. On WRTR, Real Talk Radio. We keep it real.
Alrighty, so we're recording today on April 5th. This is the day of the Hands Off March. And why we can't be the face of this movement. And how white people about to be mad. So I wanted to kind of get into this. Because I'm seeing videos. Shout out to Tiff. She just forwarded us video or footage of the protest out there, and let me tell you, I didn't see no colored people. Did you see any in the video that I sent you from Tiff?
Barely.
Okay. Well, I want it to be said, I do believe in the protest. I do. We believe in protesting. But you also need to understand, and I'm trying to get ahead of the rhetoric because I already know how people act, especially online. And I've already seen videos of people having a problem with black people sharing other videos with black people saying, hey, look, don't go to this protest. The reason that we cannot be the face of this is because it's safety, but it's also, it's safety, it's martial law that we've talked about in our past, podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the fact that we have we don't know what else it is that we can do for y'all. Y'all are going to be privy to conversations. You're in spaces, you're in places that we're not. Y'all know the white people. We don't know the white people. And the ones that we do, if you have as diverse of a friendship or a social circle as I do, they ain't acting like whatever y'all got going on. In Maryland, I'd like to go on the record to say, our whites typically, white people and black people don't have all of the same issues here. Now we have a few. I talked about my coworker that got let go behind his racist bullshit. But it's not us creating this problem, and we can't be the face to fix it because we keep going through it over and over and over. At some point, y'all have to say this bothers us too.
Yeah.
That's where the Me Too movement came from that y'all had a problem with.
Mm-hmm.
We are asking you to say, this also bothers me. And these are the reasons. Be it, it don't bother you until it bothers you. Be it the thousands, millions of you that woke up and found out that you were also DEI hires. It just, I don't know what else to say.
I do.
Go.
We told you so. It's your turn now. It's your turn now. We cannot be being the heroes and the face of and the speakers of all of these injustices in America. It's y'all turn now.
It is.
Period.
And make no mistakes, we ain't saying that black people just gonna sit back and be blown up and all this other stuff either. We have your backs, but we about to sit in the back of the bus like y'all wanted us to do.
Yeah.
Because y'all have to be the face of this resistance.
They have to. One.
The moment our black asses show up, not only will he weaponize that against everybody.
Yep.
But he will specifically use our black and brown bodies as a message to send to the rest of y'all. That if y'all step out of line, this is what's going to happen to y'all. But then they use us so that then they don't have to
hurt y'all.
Take account for hurting the people that they know.
Mm-hmm.
So they use us. They use our black and brown bodies as target practice or to send this message. We've seen it over and over. I'm not speaking from a hypothetical sense. I am speaking from a place of a person that has both read and witnessed history.
Right. The same history that they're working overtime to try to erase, by the way.
which we all still have access to, and you might want to think about brushing up on it before you go out here feeling like you are empowered to feel either side of the way.
Mm-hmm.
If you one of them people that's on the fence, because God knows we got about 20% of Byron Daniels still. Because the 92% of the women showed up. 80 something. I mean, brothers, we showed up too, majority. I'm side-eyeing at 20. I'm side-eyeing at 20, but yeah. We've been here. You just getting here.
Yeah.
But you have to do something. You cannot be the person that then decides that, oh, well, they didn't say they were going to be really mean about it. What you think? When y'all be starting these movements and shit. That's not how it works.
That's all I keep saying. We tried to tell y'all. We warned you. We told you. Pay attention to what he's saying. He's not playing when he's telling y'all what he plans on doing. He's going to do exactly what he says he's going to do. It's not a game. And we told y'all he lied about certain things. That Project 2025 shit he claimed he had no knowledge of, but all his signatures is on each and every one of them fucking pages, signing off on the shit.
Mm-hmm.
What president is just signing his life away and don't read what they put their name on?
Nobody.
Come on, make it
not even Doofy Donald.
Make it make sense. We tried to tell y'all. Y'all fucked around and found out. Now, use that same energy to fight against this man who is going to try to tear the United States apart.
And the legal ways to do this are protests. Yes, organized protests that have to be registered. That's fine. Do that. Do the voting. You actually pay attention to what people are saying this time in their speeches. Or even if you don't want to, like I know a lot of y'all will not. If you listen to this podcast, you will, but the majority of the average person is probably not going to do that.
Right. Also pay attention to what they're not saying. Because during that debate, he ain't say shit. He just kept, diverting everything to the other side of what they wasn't doing and what they did.
Listen, and we cracked up because he said that people was eating dogs and cats, and we were like, I personally said, okay, so this is dementia, and we all see this happening, right? So I said that when it happened, when I watched the debate live on TV. So to know that there were a group of people that was like, yep, they over there eating the dogs. And nobody's witnessed this. And the nigga that nigga in charge of the town has called y'all and said, so yeah, that's not happening. And y'all go, no, because I've seen it on the internet.
What? Oh my gosh. If you believe everything on the internet, you are an idiot.
As we said from the internet. No, but I'm saying, be logical about your thought processes, people. Seriously. And before you start attacking black people, because I have not seen the videos yet, so I don't feel a certain type. Well, I'm sorry. I've seen the videos already of the people criticizing black people, including other black people. And you know what? One sister did make a good point. She said, black people, she believes what we do. But her whole stance was, okay, but we can't just sit around and do nothing. So what steps are you taking to then push the movement on our own? Like, what are we doing on this day that we're not protesting with the white people? I mean, like, where we can't be the face of that protest. What are we doing in its stead?
Well, hopefully educating, because a lot of people are uneducated about politics and how things go. You don't know how many brown people and black people have said, I don't really care about that. It's not affecting you, not knowing that it really does affect you.
Right.
Regardless if you know about it, a lot of things affect you. So I think the education part is more important, more so than anything, and letting people know how things work in politics.
Well, I know where we spent April 5th. Yay!
they're going to continue to be in that thought process and pass that non-knowledge down, and it's going to be a cycle of people not knowing. And this is very important. You really have to know what goes on around the world that you are in. Because this shit right here is wild. I never thought, I was just thinking to myself the other day, I cannot believe I am living in this time where all of this shit is happening actively around me. It's wild. It really feels like the 50s or 60s, with the exception of us getting fire for that shit. But I mean, not to compare, it's not anything different than black and brown people being shot down by the police and being unarmed. It's still stuff that is happening right here and right now that I didn't think would happen.
It's the same stuff, different day.
Yep.
It's
wild.
Literally the same stuff, different day. So something has to change. Literally, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So we can't continue to be the face of this resistance, to continue to go down this rabbit hole of why whites feel like they need to be better than anyone and everybody else in order to live in harmony with the rest of everybody else.
And that's another thing that baffles me, which is why they're trying to erase history. How can you feel like you're better than somebody in a place that you didn't help build?
None of that. But if you erase it, then the guilt that they then feel, the inferiority that they then feel, is then erased for their future generations. Because you got to remember, this for them is on a scientific level. They get into, again, I'll talk about Roland Martin's book that gets into the intricacies of how they think and how they feel about their numbers, and this idea of how they maintain purity and all this bullshit that the average nigga don't care nothing about, because we just out here trying to live in our own existence,
but
in our own truth.
Y'all come from us, but that's a topic for a whole nother fucking conversation.
Let's get conspiracy theorists now. We can talk about shit like that.
Scientifically proven. Yes, and black women have something called the Eve gene. We can create any type of human on the place of this earth.
Abracadabra, bitch.
Yeah. When they say black men and black women are magic, it's not a fucking game. It's literal. Every race comes from us. Sorry, it's true. Why do you think they want our melanin so bad? Why do you think they chose that black woman for scientific research and use her DNA to cure stuff? Can't remember what her name is, but if I can remember it, I'll speak about it on next week's show. But stole that lady's DNA. Did not pay her family a fucking dime.
I'm sick of it here. I am. So black people, use the day to reflect on yourself. Because although we can't be the face of the movement, we are certainly a target. And they, again, will use white fear and actual intimidation to their own by using us as an example. Please never forget that. And again, I don't speak from places of hatred. I speak through the eyes of someone who is pretty up to date on at least the basics of history. Yes, ma'am.
I know her name.
What's her name?
Because she deserves her name to be said.
Absolutely,
her name was Henrietta Lacks. And because of her cells, they became the first immortal human cell line, revolutionizing medical research and leading to significant advances.
Well, you know what? I'm actually, Ashley the Baroness has a video about Henrietta.
They took her cells. They used her body. They built entire empires off her biology, and they never even told her she was part of the story. Modern medicine, it owes an enormous debt to a black woman. Meet Henrietta Lacks, and she never got the chance to say yes. In 1951, Henrietta went to Johns Hopkins with pain that nobody was taking seriously. She was a 31-year-old mother of 5, just trying to survive cervical cancer. And while she was under treatment, doctors took samples of her tumor without her knowing. And what they found shocked them. Her cells didn't die. They doubled, they multiplied, they were immortal. They named them HeLa, and her cells became the backbone of nearly every major medical breakthrough since. Polio vaccine, chemotherapy, AIDS research, IVF, and more recently, the COVID-19 vaccine. All that was possible because of her. And yet, her children lived in poverty. Her family didn't even know her cells had been taken until 20 years later. They were left grieving, broke, and erased from the very history that their mother helped shape. Henrietta wasn't asked. She wasn't thanked. But she changed the world. She was a woman, a wife, a mother, a daughter. Not a lab sample, not an experiment, not property. And while the world celebrates the cures that her cells helped create, her legacy isn't just scientific. It's a reminder that Black bodies have been used and discarded in the name of progress. But not this time. This time we say her name. We lift it. We honor it. Because she didn't get to choose her legacy, but we will never let the world forget it. Say her name, Henrietta Lacks.
Well, I guess that's it for us this week here on WRTR, unless you got something else, Mr. Derek.
No, I don't. Just in the words of that guy in that one show, when I find
What?
I'm going to kick your ass.
Okay. I'm not going to condone that violence. I'm not going to do it. Anyways, honestly, y'all, thank y'all for showing out with us each week. We've seen that our streams have gone up. Thank you so much for spreading the word and for joining us this and, the weeks that we can muster up the energy and time in between our schedules to get this ish done. So once again, big shout outs to y'all, and we'll holler at y'all next time right here on WRTR Real Talk Radio. Bye.
Bye.
WRTR Real Talk Radio.
This week's show featured work from TikTok creators Black Facts Matter, Ashley the Baroness, Under the Desk News, Representative Jasmine Crockett, Legitimate Targets Clips, and Aaron Parnas 1. In a world where our own is trying to silence us, we're using our platform to amplify your voices.